Hey, I'm Nick Von Brack, and this is the Record Podcast. Thanks for checking out another episode. This one is another mini, and I'm trying to figure out how I can make it all happen again. For a while, I had a good streak of all the interviews being lined up, and my schedule was a little more conducive to this happening. And now lately, it's been tough. It's been tough to get the interviews lined up, and I'm starting to think maybe less is more. Maybe pulling back a little bit. I don't want the show to turn into mainly me. The whole premise of the show is me talking to other people, and the minis are supposed to kind of fill the gaps. And now it's kind of flipped, where it's mostly minis and the interviews kind of fill the gaps. So I'm trying to think about the show a little bit more. I'm trying to think about maybe putting out a little less episodes, waiting until interviews happen, and then fill in with the minis, and not kind of scrambling to talk about stuff each week, And I can always talk about new music I've heard, and get into little bits here and there. But I just want this to be good, and want to be fun to listen to, and don't want to just kind of like force out all these minis and get to the point where people aren't really interested or listening anymore. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about any of this. I want this to be a podcast that people want to listen to and don't just force themselves to listen to each week. So maybe some adjustments coming. We'll see. You never know. It's an interesting time. Birthday's coming up. Trying to think about the future and trying to make it all work in the best way possible. So let me know. Let me know what you think. I got plenty of ways for you to get in touch with me, and I can list them all here. Facebook.com/The Record Podcast. Instagram, The Record Podcast. Twitter, @The Record Podcast without the A. And the show is on iTunes and SoundCloud, and you can go to therecordpodcast.com, where there's all the links to all these things there. And merch is at therecordpodcast.threadless.com. But how about some new music? The newest additions from Apple Music's playlist this week is that's the best really thing for this all, because otherwise it'd be taking me much longer to find out new music. But it's certainly helpful when a playlist is just delivered to you each week with bands you've never heard of and you can enjoy, or bands you have heard of and haven't gotten around to listening to yet. So how about some new ones? The new Balance and Composure. That's an album that I had heard a bunch of bad things about, or at least not so good reviews. And I typically find myself enjoying those albums, and maybe it's just because of lowered expectations. But like the second, I think it's The Orchard, Rah Rah Riot, their album. I remember seeing not good reviews about it, and I ended up loving it. And similar to this, I'm enjoying this. So Balance and Composure's new album, Light We Made. Trophy Eyes is a band I had kind of seen things about and never really heard of, but one of the songs was on the playlist this week, so you can check out a song by them.
I can't shake the thought of drowning. Salt water and ice. I can't leave again. Time is something we don't have. Lay with me, my friends, let me be.
The new Norma Jean album, starting to wade my way into that album. My buddy Goose drums for that band. He used to be the drummer of Fear Before the March of Flames, and ever since he jumped on is when I started listening again, just out of pure support for him, because I love him as a drummer and a person, and he's killing it. I love what he's doing with this band, and I like the songs they're putting out.
Yeah!
listening to a little bit of Paul McCartney's album McCartney. You know, I'm a big fan of, obviously, the Beatles, and the album Ram is really, really great. And I've always wondered kind of what his other solo albums have, and you forget that there's really good gems on these ones, and this is one of those albums that has that.
Motor cars, handlebars, bicycles for two, broken-hearted jubilee, parachutes, army boots, sleeping bags for two, sentimental jamboree.
And the new single by Bruno Major, I'm a big fan of him. I'm hoping he comes out with a full length at some point. He's one of those ones that's kind of pops up now and then, is under the radar, but I think he puts out really great stuff too.
There's little left to do, it's not been done. There's little left to love, only one. But when it seems the world is lost its spin, there's always your...
And the band Marmozets. This is a band where I saw them on Audio Tree, and I thought they put on a really good performance there. And I think, the translation of watching a band live and hear them on the album, that was always a thing with Dr. Manhattan and people saying, the albums are good, but the live stuff is better. So I wonder if this is one of those bands for people too, where the live performance is really, really sounds good and really energetic, and then on the album it, can translate or doesn't. But I think they've got a good thing going here.
Come with me to a quiet place and get some rest, 'cause you're tired and hungry, unlike all the other cats. Shake the dust from your feet and show them who's best. Make a break on a long road, let's go west. We can go wherever we want, 'cause we're free. Yeah, we're free.
All right, I think that's it for now. Just some new songs to check out, new bands to check out. Like I said, give me your thoughts on the podcast, things to do, maybe adjustments to make, maybe less episodes, maybe 2 a month, maybe I don't know, maybe whenever they happen. I don't want people to drop off and not care about it, but I also don't want to just keep putting out episodes just because I have to, and people just kind of pushing through it. But I do like suggesting new music. That's always a fun thing to do, just with friends, anyways. So I can always chuck out a little mini episode doing that. So maybe I'll just keep doing it. Maybe I'll just reconsider all the things I said previously in this episode and just keep on doing it. I don't know, changing by minute to minute. Just a human being over here. But you all keep being human beings as well, and stay warm. It's a nice brisk 20 degrees out where I'm at. So hopefully you're all having some more enjoyable weather, and get all your holiday shopping done and enjoy the warmth. Hang inside and watch a good Christmas movie. It's always the best time of year. All right, take care, guys.